Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Awake in the World. We are live right now. It is 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if you care about such things. Of course, we are approaching the middle of April already. It is April 13th today, and really, you don't manifest a thing. Hello. Forgive me if I'm licking my lips a lot and reaching for the water. I've been outside for the vast majority of the day in the wind and the sun, and getting the compost out of my compost and working it into the soil in preparation for planting the flowers tomorrow. The nighttime temperatures are going to be up around the 2-degree mark, which is fine. The grapes actually went in today. So I put a yellow grape on one side of the 11-foot Tory gate that I built, and another grape on the other side of that, a green and a purple grape. I don't know, a grape. And they're going to go up the wooden ladders that I've made that sit on either side of the bottom of the gate, and then eventually crawl across the top. That's the plan. So it's been a beautiful day with my hands in the soil, and I would really encourage you to take the time to get your hands into the soil as well. So before we get really into this, Louisa, I see that you're up there, and I see Carol as well, and then as soon as there's another response, it's going to be poof. But good to see the both of you. And as always, let me express my love for each and every one of you. You know, you're perfect just the way you are right now. Now, as always, one of the things about perfection is it's actually an ever-evolving thing. It's not a static. It's not some ultimate state. It's an evolution. It's always perfecting. Every state, every experience, every moment is perfect, and you are perfect for that moment. And when you open yourself to that, you can allow yourself to grow much easier, with a lot less difficulty, a lot less resistance. If you can accept that every moment is perfect for you and you are perfect for that moment, it also takes a lot of stress off. You can't screw it up. You really can't. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we're going to talk about manifesting. And this is a subject that I'm going to say my opinion on maybe isn't liked by many people. And I'm going to tell you why. For the vast majority, for the most part, okay, and there's always dangers in speaking in a stereotypical fashion, so we'll try not to get too stereotypical. But for the most part, when we talk about manifesting, we're trying to manifest a thing. We're trying to manifest an object. We're trying to manifest a specific experience with a specific outcome. We're trying to manifest a date, a partner, whatever it is you feel that you somehow need, that you're lacking in some way. Now, right away, if you've been listening to my videos for any length of time at all, you're going to know that immediately becomes a flashing red light. There's a big pitfall there. And what I've come through a lot of come to understand through a lot of contemplation of my own existence is that most of the things that, if not all, the vast majority of those things that I successfully manifested for myself were absolutely worthless when it came to providing any sort of long-term satisfaction or happiness or joy. And that's because you can't manifest a thing. You really can, and I know that flies in the face of everything you heard. And people will say, "Well, wait a minute, there, Tiger. I just heard you say that anything that you manifested, and that's true, and it's not true. It's true that you heard it, and it's true that I did manifest it, and it's not true that I manifested it, because what we're not actually looking for the thing. What we're looking for is a feeling. We're looking to somehow fill a space or void that somehow we feel is lacking. And to get whatever it is actually that monument. It's after the fact. It's the feeling you want to manifest. And if your feelings are based on the idea, this is the party line, the pickup line that the secret and this whole manifesting sort of crowd that charges people exorbitant amounts of money to try to teach them how to manifest. I mean, aside from the obvious that if we could all manifest everything we wanted in a heartbeat, that we would very quickly drown ourselves out and the world would be sky high in Lamborghinis and beachfront properties. And we'd all be dead. I mean, we'd bury ourselves in our own trash. What it really comes down to is you're looking for a feeling. And you're looking outside of yourself for that feeling because you've been programmed or trained or believe that feeling is missing in you, or that can't be generated by you, never understanding that actually you are the one who is the generator of the feeling. Why? Because that body's energetic field is actually doing the work. It's generating the feeling in response to your thought processes. So when we get down to the core of it, we're talking about our thoughts, our egoic thoughts, about those things that we desire, that we want to manifest. Well, I'm not talking about saying, well, I want to manifest world peace. I mean, and honestly, that is one of the most useless things I've ever heard. If you want to see world peace, become peace itself. Exude peace yourself. Teach through your peace and tranquility. Where was I? Back on Earth, 2021. What body? Garhen. Okay, I'm back. I got it. So, when we're coming from that egoic point of view, our desires, for the vast majority, for the most part, are all about filling some sort of perceived void, and we're contemplating that on the level of thought. So we know right away that there's got to be a little bit of suspect going on if we're contemplating it on the level of thought. And, if you think that a car is going to make you happy and your thought processes about the car are positive, you're going to be thinking thoughts that generate a positive response from the body. You're going to feel good. And you can do that anytime. That's what you're manifesting, is the feeling. And the feeling is a response from the body to the mind's thought process. Now, if you keep going with that thought process, sooner or later, you're going to get your hands on a car by hook or by crook. And the moment you do, that feeling is going to disappear. Totally. And the horrific reality of owning that fancy new car that you thought was going to make your life so special all the time quickly fades. It doesn't. Maybe you're flying high for a week or 2 weeks, but the first time that car gets scratched, or the first time you get a speeding ticket, a big one, or have to pay your insurance or your car payments or whatever the case may be, that becomes like a weight attached to you. And the reason being is that the process that results in the car, well, the car is a monument already. It's really empty. That's why egoically scrabbling outside of yourselves for things to make yourself feel better, to make yourself feel safe, things that are external to you, that's why it never works. Because they're already long dead monuments. The brand new car you dreamt about and thought about for the last 6 months that is in your driveway as of yesterday morning is already a long dead monument. Its ability to generate that feeling for you is going to disappear very quickly. The reason being, you don't really want to keep repeating things over and over again yourself. You're on to new feelings about what's going to make you happy. New contemplations, new ideas. And on the process goes until sooner or later you understand that it's not the things you're manifesting. The things are just the leftovers. What you're manifesting is the feeling in yourself through yourself. Therefore, you don't need the exterior object. You never did. Now, I'm not talking about the common sense things. I don't sit there and say, well, I enjoy the feeling of sleeping in my bed at night as I huddle and shiver on the deck in a sleeping bag when it's still too cold to be out there in a sleeping bag. That's not reality or common sense. But at the same time, I understand that anything around me, any of the relics or monuments that trigger a feeling are simply triggers. They're not the source of my feeling good. My feeling good, my happiness, my joy is coming from within me and available at any time. You don't have to wait. There's no future date where something or some experience or someone is going to somehow make you feel joy, love, happiness, and it'll be eternal ever after. Because any of that yet that you do feel is your own resonance. It's coming from within you as a response, and you don't need the response. You don't need some external trigger. You can live in that state of joy. You can live in that state of love. You can live in that state of grace right now. Why? Because I'm here, and I'm just a foolish old man. If I can be here, every single one of you can live in this state as well. And the core of this is I don't intend to manifest anything. I have no desires. There is no drive in me to get anything, to have more, to drive a newer vehicle or have a larger house. There's no desire for any of that. The only thing that I wish to manifest is my own openness and acceptance to whatever life brings. And I know it's hard to trust, but if you do that, if you give up the idea of manifesting things and instead understand all you have to do is manifest the feeling by thinking in the right direction, and then allow life to bring to you what it will. Because in those experiences, you will be offered the opportunity to generate all the fulfillment you desire. to experience all the love that you desire. And the humorous aspect of creation is everything that you ever desire, you have to fully give up and stop desiring. For in every way, honestly, so much so that you actually convince all of creation that you've given it up. And in that moment, you get it all. That's the truth of it. So I would encourage you, from my point of view, I would wish that you would consider to not spend your time on courses or books that involve somehow manifesting something. Trust the process of life. Trust that creative consciousness, the love that is all things, knows far better. And that higher aspect of yourself is truly guiding every moment of your existence. That's it. That's all this evening. Much love. Namaste. Have a beautiful Tuesday night. Tomorrow afternoon, after some flower planting in the morning, the plan is to hit Garden Lake on the kayaks and bring the drone out and get some footage down in the lake. Really looking forward to it. Take care again. Have a beautiful night. We'll speak again very soon.